This recipe is beginner level. Get ready to make some gory goodies. Hi, I'm Carrie Shankweiler, and in a moment, I'm going to show you how to make oozy and crunchy eyeballs. Sometimes we cook on a stovetop or use tools that can be harmful, like a knife. So make sure you have an adult around to cook with you. Here are the ingredients you'll need to get started. To print out a list of ingredients and step-by-step instructions for this recipe, please visit www.activitytv.tv. Today I'm going to show you 2 different ways to make a creepy yet healthy snack, perfect for a Halloween party. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to make are these crunchy eyeballs. We need some nice crunchy carrots. Look, they're the perfect shape for eyeballs. You can even see there's a little round center right there in the middle. So we're going to use these first to create our eyeballs. You need 1 little carrot chunk. I cut these in 2. They're about 1/2-inch slices. Now on top of the carrot, we're going to put a little bit of spreadable cream cheese. It's already been a little bit softened. I'm going to set it right in the center. That's the white part of the eye. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, if it's not perfect, it makes it a little creepier. See how I got it off to the side a little bit? Okay. Now, right in the center goes the pupil. So I'm going to use a raisin right there in the center. That's all there is to it. Here's 1 crunchy eyeball. I'm going to set it on my tray that I already put some spinach on, and I'm going to fill it up with these little eyeballs. That looks cool. All right, let me make another one. Carrot, cream cheese, carrot, cream cheese. All right, does that look good? And pupil. Raisin. All right? How fast? It's totally easy. And before you know it, you're going to have a platter full of these eyeballs. A little bit more cream cheese. Pupil. Raisin for me. And now it's time to make the oozy eyeballs. This one's really fun. Finished with this bowl. So let me get the tomatoes closer. All right. You know, on the inside of a tomato, it's filled with seeds and it's kind of juicy. In fact, you have to be careful. If you just bite into a tomato, it could just explode and squeeze all over the place, which at a Halloween party actually could be kind of fun. But for the purposes of making these oozy eyeballs, you just take a toothpick, you pierce the center, wiggle it around a little bit. All right, now we got to give it a squeeze to let some of the goo come out, because that's why this is called, ew, watch that, that's kind of cool, look. These are why these are called oozy eyeballs. All right, so give it a little crack. Then the juice comes out. Okay, now I'm going to put a little bit of cream cheese on there. This is a spreadable cream cheese, really easy to put on. All right, and now we're going to use part of a black olive for the pupil on this one. All right, that's an oozy eyeball. I'm going to put that on my platter. You know, the spinach also helps to keep them from rolling all over the place. All right, let me make another few. Pierce it in the center. Wiggle the toothpick around a little. Give it a squeeze. Don't aim it at anybody. There it comes. That is oozy. All right, little cream cheese. Right in the center. Okay. And the black olive for the pupil. That one's perfect. It's rounded. Eek. All right. Let's make a few more. Now when you put these on the tray, if you don't want them rolling all over, just kind of tuck them into the spinach a little bit. All right, I'm going to make all the rest of my oozy eyeballs until I use up all the tomatoes. I finished making all of my oozy eyeballs. Doesn't that look spooktacular? Thanks for cooking with me today. I'm Carrie Shankweiler. Happy Halloween, and I'll see you next time.
Want to continue the fun? Well, there's always more cool activities to check out on our website. Just visit www.activitytv.tv.
Made for This costume is beginner level. You'll look like you've just been picked from the pumpkin patch with this traditional Halloween costume. Hi, I'm Lisa Blair, and in a moment, I'm going to show you how to make a sweet pumpkin costume. Sometimes we use materials like scissors that can be harmful, so have fun creating your costume with an adult helper. Here are the supplies you'll need to get started. To print out the list of supplies and step-by-step instructions for this costume, please visit www.activitytv.tv. This costume is really easy to make, so let's get started. To begin, I'm going to use this orange raincoat and some different colors of felt. To create the face of my jack-o'-lantern, I'm going to use black felt. If you don't have black felt, you could use black construction paper or even black paint. I've decided I'm going to make just a normal, happy jack-o'-lantern face for my pumpkin. And to do that, I'm going to create 2 triangles for the eyes, 1 triangle for the nose, and a happy toothed grin all along the bottom. Let's start with the eyes. I'm going to cut a rectangle out of this felt, and then I'm going to cut it into 2 equal squares. We want the eyes to be the same shape, so I'm going to cut the eyes at the same time. There we go, we have the eyes done. Now let's do the nose. Now the nose should be a little bit smaller than the eyes. For the mouth, I'm going to use the rest of my black felt, and I'm going to begin by cutting a big grin out of this black felt. It's kind of a crescent moon shape. Okay, we have this great grin, but he needs some teeth in it, don't you think? To make the teeth, I'm going to cut into this black felt. That way the orange will show through the black felt and look like a real pumpkin. How about 1 tooth right here? I'm just going to cut a little square out for each tooth. See how that looks like a tooth? This is so cool. Let's cut 2 more teeth out. Looking good. Just 1 more to go. All right, that looks great. Now let's glue all these pieces down. I'm going to put the nose right on this pocket. And then I'm going to put the mouth right down here on the bottom of the raincoat. Okay, now this looks pretty cool, but no pumpkin is complete without a stem and a few leaves. To do that, I'm going to use my green felt. If you don't have green felt, you could always use construction paper. To make my stem, I'm going to use my green felt and I'm going to cut a rectangle about 2 inches wide. The width of your rectangle is going to determine how tall your stem is. Now I'm just going to roll this up. And I'm going to put a little line of glue right here. I'm going to set this aside to dry, and I'm going to make my leaves. For my leaves, I'm just going to create hearts on the green felt. I'm going to cut out 2 squares, and then from these squares, I'm going to cut my hearts. So you can actually just fold these pieces in half and cut half of a heart shape. Then when you unfold it, it'll look like a heart-shaped leaf. And there's our other leaf. Okay, now that everything is dry, it's time to put it all together. I'm going to bring in my hooded raincoat, and I'm going to attach my stem and leaves. To attach my stem and leaves, I'm going to use safety pins. I'm going to put one leaf right here. And then I'm going to attach my other leaf right on top. Just like that. Okay, now that my leaves are there, I'm going to attach my stem. I'm going to place it right on top of the leaves. And then I'm going to take a large safety pin and push it all the way through, just like this. And there we go, looks fresh picked. I hope you had a great time joining me today. I'm Lisa Blair. Have a happy Halloween, and I'll see you next time.
Want to continue the fun? Well, there's always more cool activities to check out on our website. Just visit www.activitytv.tv.
Made for on demand.
This costume is beginner level. Beware! The full moon is upon us, and soon you will be transformed into an evil monster if you stick around. Hi, I'm Lisa Blair, and in a moment I'm going to show you how to make a werewolf costume. Sometimes we use materials like scissors that can be harmful, so have fun creating your costume with an adult helper. Here are the supplies you'll need to get started. To print out the list of supplies and step-by-step instructions for this costume, please visit www.activitytv.tv. You'll be howling at the moon in no time with this easy costume. Now let's get started. To begin, I'm going to make some wolf chest hair out of this faux fur. To do that, I'm just going to cut a triangle right out. I got this crazy faux fur at my local craft store. They have all different colors. They even have bright green if you wanted to be a radioactive werewolf. Okay, so I have my chest piece cut out. I'm going to open up my shirt and place it inside. Doesn't that look like chest hair? Okay, now I'm going to take some safety pins and I'm going to pin this hair onto the shirt from the inside. Just like this. I'm going to go through the fur and through the shirt and right back out. I'm using about 6 safety pins, 3 on each side. So we have the right side done. Let's move on to the left side. Okay, now that my chest hair is all in there, look how wolfy it looks and animalistic. It's gonna be really scary. Okay, now that it's all complete, I'm gonna move on to my hand patches. This shirt is gonna cover the rest of my body, but I wanna make sure it looks like the fur is really coming out of everywhere. So I'm gonna set my shirt aside, and I'm gonna grab my faux fur, and I'm gonna cut 2 patches big enough to cover my hands out of the faux fur. These don't have to be perfect circles or squares because we want it to look really organic and natural, like real hair. Okay, now that my fur patches for the back of my hands are cut out, it's time to attach them. I'm going to attach these patches to my hands using this clear, stretchy string. We're going to use this string because it's nearly invisible and you won't be able to tell how the fur is attached to your hands. Okay, let's cut a couple pieces of this. There's one. I'm going to cut one more. Now to attach this string, I'm going to make very small cuts in my faux fur, just like that. I'm going to bend it over and I'm going to just make a small snip, just like that. Now I'm going to take my clear thread and I'm going to thread it through the hole I just made. Once we have our cord threaded, I'm going to tie it in a knot. Make sure you tie it nice and tight. You can snip off the ends and slip it right onto your palm. Doesn't that look groovy and funky and scary? Okay, let's do the other one. If you really want to take this costume up a notch, just check out the werewolf face painting activity. Okay, one last knot. I'm going to snip off the ends. I can slide these on, grab my werewolf shirt, and I'm ready for trick-or-treating. I hope you had a great time joining me today. I'm Lisa Blair. Have a happy Halloween, and I'll see you next time.
Want to continue the fun? Well, there's always more cool activities to check out on our website. Just visit www.activitytv.tv.
Made for on demand.
This costume is beginner level. Hi, I'm Lisa Blair. Have you run out of ideas for a Halloween costume? Well, don't sweat it, because I'm about to show you how to make an awesome bat costume. Sometimes we use materials like scissors that can be harmful, so have fun creating your costume with an adult helper. Here are the supplies you'll need to get started. To print out the list of supplies and step-by-step instructions for this costume, please visit www.activitytv.tv. Trick-or-treating will definitely be bat-tacular when you wear this great costume. Now let's get started. To begin, I'm going to start with my wings. And to make my wings, I'm going to use this cool shimmery fabric. I folded it in half so that the shimmery side will be on the outside of both sides of our wings. I'm going to fold it over one more time to find the center of my fabric. Now I'm going to cut along this folded edge. I'm going to use each of these pieces as one of our wings. So let's get started. We're going to be mounting our bat wings on a long sleeve black t-shirt. So I'm just going to make sure that my wing is going to fit onto my sleeve. It's going to be just like this. That looks like a great size. Now to create the wing pattern, I'm going to cut triangles right along this edge, just like that. Okay, let's give it a try. I'm going to cut my wings freehand, but you can trace it out first if you'd like. There we go, that looks great. Now we're going to safety pin all along the bottom edge of our sleeve. Okay, I'm going to lay my sleeve right on top of my wing, and I'm going to take these safety pins, and starting at the armpit of my sleeve, I'm going to start pinning. Make sure you're pinning these wings onto the bottom portion of your sleeve. We want them to hang down, just like wings would. It looks like my shirt is going to take 5 safety pins, but it'll really depend on how long your arms are. Okay, now that I have the top of my wing pinned, I'm going to fold this back and I'm going to pin the other side of the wing to the body of my shirt. So I'm going to fold the body of my shirt over, just like I did for the sleeve, and then I'm just going to pin this edge. By folding the shirt over, our safety pins will be on the back. They'll be more hidden. Okay, now that we have one wing done, let's repeat this on the other side. Don't those look great? They really look like wings. Now I'm going to make a bat mask out of the same material to go over our eyes and hide our true identity. To make our bat mask, I'm going to use the same material, and I'm going to cut a strip that's long enough to go around my head and is about 2 inches thick. To make sure that the whole strip is even and uniform, I'm going to fold my material over once, and then once more. Folding this strip over ensures a uniform width. There. Now that I have my strip cut, I'm going to cut 2 eye holes. So I'm going to cut 1 hole here and 1 hole here. That should be a good placement for my eyes. To do that, I'm going to fold this over, and I'm going to cut a circle into this fold. See how that looks like an eye hole? Okay, let's make another one. There, that looks good. Now let's see if this matches up with my eyes. Yep, pretty batterific. Okay, now that I have the body of my bat and the eyes of my bat done, it's time to work on my sonar. I'm going to make some cool batty ears out of a headband and some black foam. If you don't have black foam, you could always use construction paper or cardboard and paint. I have some black foam right here, and I'm going to cut out 1 long rectangle. I'm then going to cut that rectangle into 2 smaller rectangles. Now I want my ears to be the same size, so I'm going to cut them at the same time by layering those 2 rectangles on top of each other. To make the ears, I'm going to cut out a leaf shape from the black foam. If you don't feel comfortable cutting freehand, you could always draw out your ears ahead of time. Okay, now that I have my ears done, it's time to tape them on the headband. I have my headband right here. I'm going to take 1 ear and I'm going to fold it. See how that looks more like an ear once it's folded? I'm going to take my bat ear and I'm actually going to make a small cut right there. We're going to place the headband in between this cut so that the ear sits straight on our headband. Just like this. I'm going to gather all the pieces and grab a piece of tape and tape it right onto the headband. Okay, let's do our other ear. I have it here. I'm going to fold my ear over, and then I'm going to make a small cut so we can put it over the headband. Just like this. See how that creates a gap? Okay, let's put this on our headband. I'm going to grab a piece of tape and just fold it right around. My ears look great. Okay, so now that I have my ears done and my bat mask and my awesome bat wings, I'm ready to take flight. I hope you had a great time joining me today. I'm Lisa Blair. Have a happy Halloween, and I'll see you next time.
Want to continue the fun? Well, there's always more cool activities to check out on our website. Just visit www.activitytv.tv.
Made for on demand.
This costume is expert level. Hi, I'm Lisa Blair. Do you want to make a big splash this Halloween? Then stay right where you are because I'm going to show you how to make an awesome mermaid costume. Sometimes we use materials like scissors that can be harmful, so have fun creating your costume with an adult helper. Here are the supplies you'll need to get started. To print out the list of supplies and step-by-step instructions for this costume, please visit www.activitytv.tv. You'll be the best dressed mermaid under the sea with this cool costume. Now let's get started. To begin, we're going to start with our gray felt and we're going to make a seashell bikini to glue onto our white t-shirt. I'm going to take my gray felt and I'm going to double it over. And then I'm going to draw the shape of a seashell with my black marker. A seashell kind of looks like a fan, just like this. And then I'm going to put a little clam shape at the bottom. Okay, let's cut this out. Now because I folded my felt in half, I'm actually cutting both seashells at the same time. Okay, there we go. We're going to glue these down to our white t-shirt now. There's one. It's okay if you get a little glue on the t-shirt because it'll dry clear. And there's two, just like that. Okay, now that our seashells are glued down, we're going to outline them with gold glitter paints. Now I'm going to create little lines inside the shell with this glitter paint. Now I'm going to do the same thing to this shell. If you don't have glitter glue, you could always use regular glue and glitter. Now that we have our seashells glittered, I'm going to create bands for our bikini with the glitter glue. Just like this. We're going to put one line in the middle to attach the shells together, and then we're going to create straps like this and like that and like this. Okay, we're going to set this aside to dry for about an hour. Okay, now that my seashells are dry, I'm going to create some seaweed with green felt to come up from the bottom of the shirt. To create seaweed, I'm just going to cut a bunch of squiggly lines out of this felt. You can draw a pattern on the felt if you're nervous about cutting straight into it, but it's pretty easy. You can't do it wrong. You want to cut out enough pieces to fit all the way around your shirt. Okay, now that I have all my seaweed cut out, it's time to glue it on the shirt. I'm going to space these all along the bottom of the shirt And I'm going to kind of alternate lengths so it looks visually interesting. Alrighty, now that we have the front done, it's time to turn it over and draw the back straps and put on a little more seaweed. Let's start with the straps. I'm going to take my gold glitter paint. I'm going to try to find where the other edge of the strap came. So right here it looks like. I'm going to make a line to the center, and then let's look on this side. Right over here it looks like. I'm going to continue that line. Just like that. Now let's find the tops of those straps right here. I'm going to bring it down, and then right over here as well. And then if you want, you can create a little bow in the middle. Just have that hang down. Okay, now let's put the seaweed on. Just like we did in the front, we want to alternate lengths of seaweed. Okay, now that all of our seaweed is glued on, I'm going to set it aside to dry for about an hour. Now that my shirt is dry, I've pinned it onto this dress form to show you how to put the whole costume together. For the mermaid's tail, I found this cellophane that's kind of iridescent at my craft store. I'm going to wrap it around the waist just like a skirt. Since it's see-through, you want to make sure you're wearing black pants underneath. And to cover up this edge right here, I'm going to take a purple boa and just wrap it right around the waist, just like this. You can tie it in the back if you want. I got this green boa at a costume store as well. It looks kind of like seaweed. And there you go. She's ready for an underwater party. I hope you had a great time joining me today. I'm Lisa Blair. Have a happy Halloween, and I'll see you next time.
Want to continue the fun? Well, there's always more cool activities to check out on our website. Just visit www.activitytv.tv.
Made for on demand.
This costume is intermediate level. Hi, I'm Lisa Blair. Are you having trouble deciding what to be for Halloween this year? Well, stay tuned because I'm going to show you how to make a costume that's out of this world. Sometimes we use materials like scissors that can be harmful, so have fun creating your costume with an adult helper. Here are the supplies you'll need to get started. To print out the list of supplies and step-by-step instructions for this costume, please visit www.activitytv.tv. Today, I'm going to show you how to create an alien costume that's really easy to make. So let's get spaced out. Started. Okay, to begin, we're going to create patches of alien skin to glue on to our orange shirt. So I have this crazy faux fur here. It's pink and speckled, it's really cool. So I'm going to fold this over so that the fur is on the inside. And I'm just going to cut a bunch of strips out. That way, when I cut my circles, I'll be cutting out 2 circles at a time. It'll make the whole process a little faster. Because we're using this crazy faux fur, it's good to have really sharp scissors. Fabric scissors are the best, but if you don't have fabric scissors, you need to find a pair of scissors that have never been used on paper before. So now with these strips, I'm going to cut them into smaller rectangles and then create blobs of alien skin. I'm going to create 10 circles altogether. Okay, I'm just going to finish cutting my last circle. And now I have 10 big spots of alien skin. I'm going to set these aside for a minute, and I'm going to make some tentacles out of the same fabric to safety pin underneath the arms of the shirt. I'm going to fold this bigger sheet of the pink fur fabric to create the tentacles. I'm going to fold it so that the fur is on the inside again. I'm going to cut both sets of tentacles out at the same time. But first, I'm going to draw a pattern. We're going to have one long tentacle and then one short tentacle and then one long tentacle and one short tentacle. So it looks really varied and kind of crazy and spacey. We're just going to create these big V's just like this. And then we'll have a short one right here and a long one. And then one long one that'll hang right next to the body. Now I'm just going to round off the edges of all these tentacles. And I'm going to cut this in half. So I'm just going to follow along this fold while I cut. There we go, we have two sets of tentacles. Now I'm going to take my alien skin and my tentacles and I'm going to attach them to the shirt. I found this really cool orange shirt at a clothing store. It has this cool pink fringe and a little sequin, but if you can't find a shirt that's similar, you could use any color or any type of shirt that you want. So I'm going to attach my alien skin. I'm going to set them out first and just see how they look. See how I want to position them on the shirt. Maybe put some up here. Maybe one up there. Maybe one at the top. There, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to glue these all down. Don't worry if you get a little glue on the shirt itself because this will dry clear. It's not a big deal. To attach the tentacles to the shirt, I'm actually going to lie my fur down and just fold my sleeve over so that it matches up. And then I'm just going to take my safety pins and I'm going to safety pin it just like this. So with these safety pins, I'm going through the fabric of the shirt and then the fabric of the tentacle, and then I'm just coming back up through both. And I'm just securing it at the top. You can put a lot of safety pins in each arm and have the tentacle skin be really close to the sleeve, or you can just put a few in and let them kind of drape down. It's whatever kind of look you want. Now do the same for the other side. I'm going to lay my tentacle down and bring my shirt right over that fabric. Okay, now that my alien body is done, I'm going to set it aside to dry, and while it's drying, I'm going to work on some alien bopper eyeballs for my head. I'm going to be using these 2 styrofoam balls and 4 green pipe cleaners. I'm going to begin by twisting these pipe cleaners together. We're going to end up attaching these styrofoam balls to a headband in the end, and we want the pipe cleaners to be really strong to hold them up. There's one. I'm just twisting them up just like this. And there's another one. Now I'm going to take these, and these styrofoam balls already have holes in them, but if you find styrofoam balls without holes, you can just use a wooden dowel or a screwdriver to make a hole in there. I'm going to take these pipe cleaners and bend them over and stick them right into that hole. How cool is that? They're really starting to take shape. I'm going to do the same to the other one. And then I'm going to paint spacey spirals on each one of these eyeballs. I'm going to do that with some green glitter paint. If you don't have glitter paint, you could use regular glue and glitter or a marker or paint or whatever you have around. So I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm just going to use the paint to spiral it all around, just like this. Okay, I'm going to set this one aside to dry, and I'm going to work on the other one. Okay, now that I have both eyeballs spiraled, I'm going to set them aside to dry for about an hour. Now that my eyeballs are dry, it's time to add some orange furry eyelids. So I'm going to take this orange fur and I'm going to cut 2 triangles out. There's one triangle. And here's another triangle. Now I'm going to wrap these triangles right around the eyeball, just like this. I'm going to measure out to see where I should trim so that there isn't a whole bunch of fur on there. And I know that the other eyeball is the same shape, so I can follow the pattern that I just created. There we go. Now I have 2 eyelids and 2 eyeballs, and I'm going to put a bunch of glue on each eyelid. And then I'm just going to roll up each eyeball, just like this. And I'm going to let it dry for about an hour. Yep, good and dry. It's time to attach them to our headbands. We want them to look like eyeballs sticking out, so I'm going to put one eyeball here and one eyeball here. I'm going to take my pipe cleaner and I'm going to bend it around twice, just like that. And then I'm going to go around the stem just to make it a little more secure and strong. I'm just going to keep wrapping it around just like this. There's one eyeball. And now I'm going to do the other one. All right. Now I have some really cool alien eyeballs, but I need a few antennas. So I'm going to set these guys down. I'm going to grab 2 more pipe cleaners and my marker. And I'm just going to spiral this pipe cleaner around the marker. I'm going to hold it here, and I'm just going to bring it around so it becomes a really curly corkscrew. Just like that. I'm going to do it to the other one as well. There we go. Now I'm going to separate this a little bit. Boing! Boing! And then I'm going to attach it to the side of my headband. Like that, and like this. And there we go, you can bend your eyeballs in any shape that you want. Now that my alien eyes are done, it's time to put them all together with the tentacles and the alien skin. This costume is out of this world. I hope you had a great time joining me today. I'm Lisa, have a happy Halloween, and I'll see you next time.
Want to continue the fun? Well, there's always more cool activities to check out on our website. Just visit www.activitytv.tv.
Made for on demand.
This Halloween activity is beginner level. Rest in peace, boring old Halloween bags, because I've got the coolest bag in town. Hi, I'm Lisa Blair, and today I'm going to show you how to make a tombstone trick-or-treat bag. Sometimes we use materials that require supervision, like scissors, so have fun creating this project with an adult helper. Here are the supplies you'll need to get started. List of supplies or step-by-step instructions for this Halloween craft, please visit www.activitytv.tv. This groundbreaking bag is a treat to make, so let's get started. To begin, I'm going to take some gray felt and I'm going to make my tombstone. I'm going to cut it in half. Just like that, and then I'm going to round off these edges. Just like that. All right. Make sure it'll fit on your bag. Looks like it fits. And now I'm going to create some grass tufts just right along the bottom to make it look like it's in the middle of the graveyard. To create the grass tufts, I'm going to take my green felt and I'm going to cut 2 rectangles out of it. Just like that. So 1 big rectangle, and then you can cut that right into 2. Now I'm going to create little tufts of grass by cutting triangles out. I'm going to start right like this. If you don't have felt, you can use construction paper for this project. No big deal. Also, if you're not comfortable just cutting your felt just like this, you can draw out your pattern first. There we go. There's 1 tuft. I'm just going to take my other rectangle and I'm going to do the same thing. Maybe 1 blade of grass going all the way up. And then 1 more. Just like that. Maybe I'll curve this a little bit. There we go. Now that I have all my pieces cut out, I'm going to glue them onto the bag. Get lots of glue on there, just like that. Don't worry if you get glue on your bag. It dries clear, so no one will see it. Then I'm going to glue my grass on as well. Just like that. I'm going to glue 1 to each side, just like this. Then I'm going to grab my other piece. And there we go. Now that I have all my pieces glued down, it's time to put my inscription on the tombstone. I'm going to grab some black paint. If you don't have black paint, no problem. You can use marker or felt or whatever you have around. And I'm going to write the words trick or treat. You also don't have to write trick or treat. You could put rest in peace, or you could put give me candy, whatever you want to put on your tombstone. On my tombstone, I'm going to write trick or treat. If you want a bigger trick-or-treat bag, and you think you're going to hit up a lot of houses, you could always make your trick-or-treat bag out of a pillowcase. It's a really sturdy bag for candy. Now that I have my writing done, I'm going to create a few cracks on the tombstone by creating little squiggly lines, just like this. There's 1 crack, and then I'm going to say it splits right there. Make another crack. Maybe 1 from the top, too. Now that my cracks are complete, I'm going to set my bag aside to dry for an hour, and then I'm ready to go. I hope you had a great time joining me today. I'm Lisa, and I'll see you next time.
Want to continue the fun? Well, there's always more cool activities to check out on our website. Just visit www.activitytv.tv.
Made for on demand.
This Halloween activity is beginner level. You'll be the hit of Halloween with this beautiful bag. Hi, I'm Lisa Blair, and I have a terrific trick-or-treat bag that's super easy to make. So stick around and I'll show you how to make a homemade ghost bag. Sometimes we use materials that require supervision, like scissors. So have fun creating this project with an adult helper. Here are the supplies you'll need to get started. To print out a list of supplies, supplies or step-by-step instructions for this Halloween craft, please visit www.activitytv.tv. This bag is hauntingly good looking, and your friends will wonder where you bought it, but don't worry, I'll keep your secret. Let's get started. To begin, I'm going to take this white felt, and I'm going to cut a ghost out of it. I'm going to start with a rectangle. I'm going to fold it over, and I'm going to cut around the edges into a ghost shape, just like this. I'm going to make the bottom jagged. If your bag isn't perfectly rounded, just round off the top. We're going to glue our ghost onto our bag. I'm going to put him kind of on an angle. If you get glue on the bag, don't worry, it dries clear. And then I'm going to glue on some googly eyes. If you don't have googly eyes, that's totally fine. You can use paint or felt or marker. I like the googly eyes though. And here's the other eye. And then with my black marker, I'm just going to draw the word boo. Just like this. And then I'm going to color it in. Now the only thing left I have to do is draw a little circle for the mouth so it looks like he's actually saying boo. I'm going to do that with black paint. I'm going to set my ghost aside to dry for about an hour, and then I'm ready to spook the town. I hope you had a great time joining me. I'm Lisa, and have a happy Halloween.
Want to continue the fun? Well, there's always more cool activities to check out on our website. Just visit www.activitytv.tv.
Made for on demand.
This Halloween activity is beginner level. Want to make a bag that's guaranteed more treats than tricks? Well, I'll show you how to create one. I'm Lisa Blair, and in a moment, I'm going to show you how to make a homemade devil trick-or-treat bag. So stick around. Sometimes we use materials that require supervision, like scissors. So have fun creating this project with an adult helper. Here are the supplies you'll need to get started. To print out a list of supplies or step-by-step instructions for this Halloween craft, please visit www.activitytv.tv. Homemade trick-or-treat bags are easy to make, and you can choose any theme that you like. Today, I chose a devil theme, so let's get started. I'm going to cut the shape of a devil's head out. To make the circle, I'm actually going to cut a square, and then I'm just going to round off these square edges, just like this. If you don't have felt at home, you can use construction paper, just as easily. There we go, I have a nice oval cut out, and now I'm just going to do the horns. For the horns, I'm going to take that leftover rectangle that I just cut. I'm going to create kind of a U shape for the horns. So I'm actually going to double this over, just like that, and I'm going to cut kind of a smile out. Just like that. You can always draw out your pattern first if you're not sure how how it's gonna look, or, just to make sure before you cut. I'm just gonna freehand it though. Maybe I'll round off the edges a little bit. My devil's a nice devil. He doesn't have pointy horns. Okay, so let's see how this all matches up. Just like this, let's put the circle on top of the horns. Looks pretty scary, I like it. So now that I have my horns and my circle cut out, I'm just gonna glue it right onto the bag. So we want the face to be on top of the horns, so I'm actually gonna put the horns down first. I'm gonna grab my glue and just put it all over the back here, just like that. If you get a little glue on the bag, don't worry, because the glue dries clear. I'm gonna stick that sucker down just like that. And then see, we're just gonna glue the circle right on top. Now we're gonna lie that on there, just like this. Now that my face and horns are all glued on, it's time to add a devil tail to the bottom. For that, I'm gonna take my red felt, and just like on this bag, I'm gonna create kind of an arrow. Can you see the arrow right there? It's gonna be a little squiggle with an arrow. So I'm gonna start with the arrow head, just like this. I'm gonna create kind of a triangle, just like that. And then I'm just gonna come back in and create kind of an arrow head. Just like that. Now I'm gonna create the tail part by making a long squiggly line. This tail can be as long as you want. It can be super short, super long, whatever you want. And I'm just gonna follow that line with the other edge, just like this. There we go, just like that. See how it looks like an arrow? Now I'm gonna glue this tail right onto the bottom of my bag, right here. I'm gonna put a little bit of glue right on the edge there. And then I'm just gonna stick it right there. These tails look so cool when you're running around. It's really neat. Okay, now I'm gonna turn this over. And now that we have the full devil basics down, it's time to add some facial features. So I'm gonna pull him down a little bit and add a few googly eyes. If you don't have googly eyes, you can use paint or marker, whatever you have laying around. You can use felt if you wanted. I like the googly eyes though. I think they add a little something extra. A little glue here. I'm gonna pop that on right there. And one more googly eye. Put that right there. All right, so I have the eyes down, but I think he needs maybe a nose, a mouth, maybe some eyebrows. So I have some black paint here. If you don't have black paint, you can use marker, you can use glitter, you can use whatever you want. I'm gonna take my black paint and I'm gonna draw the nose. Just like that. And then he's a devil, so he's gotta be a little mischievous, right? So I'm gonna give him a little kind of side grin, like he's up to something. Just like that. And then I'm gonna give him a little dimple. Just like that. Maybe some eyebrows. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna set my devil aside to dry for about an hour, and then I'm ready to trick or treat. I hope you had a great time joining me today. I'm Lisa, and I'll see you next time.
Want to continue the fun? Well, there's always more cool activities to check out on our website. Just visit www.activitytv.tv.
Made for on demand.
This Halloween activity is beginner level. This one-of-a-kind decoration will add pizzazz to any Halloween party. Hi, I'm Lisa Blair, and I'm going to show you how to make a Deck the Haunted Halls wreath. Here are the supplies you'll need to get started. To print out a list of supplies or step-by-step instructions for this Halloween craft, please visit www.activitytv.tv. Halloween decorations are fun to make, and this one is no exception. To begin, I have this wreath made out of grapevines. You can use whatever type of wreath you want though. If you have a bunch of branches in the backyard, you can put them into a circle, or they have styrofoam wreaths as well. But I have a grapevine one. So I'm gonna begin by taking some fake cobwebs. This stuff is super stretchy. And I'm just gonna stretch it all over my wreath to make it look really creepy and old. I'm gonna make kind of a spider-themed wreath. But you can make your wreath whatever theme you want. You could put just skeletons on it, or you could put eyeballs on it, or I don't know, anything you want. I'm gonna make mine all spidery though. This vine wreath is really good because the spider webs get caught on all of these little branches poking out all over the place. So I'm just kind of wrapping this around. You don't need any glue for this, and there's no wrong way to do it. You just kind of put it on willy-nilly, just like a spider would do it. You can keep pulling it here. That looks pretty good. And then I'm just gonna kind of arrange the rest of this around here, stretch it out a little bit more so it looks a little thinner. The thinner this stuff is, the more realistic it looks. There we go. That looks pretty good. Now that I have my web set, it's time to add some spiders. I found these really cool dangly spiders at my Halloween store, and they're great for this project because they have these little strings attached to them. But if you can't find spiders with little hangers on them, it's not a problem. You can either glue them on, or you can actually just tie them on with wire or string. But I have these nifty hangers, so that's what I'm gonna use. I'm just gonna find little branches that are sticking out here, and I'm just gonna put them around just like this. I'm gonna attach them. Just like that. I'm gonna put a big one there, and I'm gonna kind of balance it out. So I'm gonna put maybe another big one right here. With these strings, I'm just kind of twisting it and then almost rubber banding them to the vine, just like that. I'm gonna put another spider maybe right here. That looks great. See how it's balanced? We have two big ones, two little ones. I have this really cool skeleton that I found, and I'm gonna hang him right in the middle of my wreath. I'm gonna lay him right in the middle there. There we go. Now, all this wreath needs, I think, is a nice holiday bow. So I found this cool ribbon at my craft store. It has spiders on it to go with my spider theme. And I'm gonna try to find a little spot where I can tie the ribbon onto. If you're using a styrofoam wreath form, you can just glue it. But again, I have these really helpful branches. So I'm just gonna take the end of my ribbon and I'm gonna bring it right through the branch there till it's about in the middle there. Now I'm gonna tie a knot once, just like that, just so that I have it anchored really well on that branch. And now I'm just gonna tie a bow. This ribbon's pretty cool because it actually has wire in it. So once you get it tied, you can really fluff up the bow and make it look really festive and cool and Halloween-y and spidery. And there we go, a great trick-or-treat Halloween wreath. Now I can either put this on my door for trick-or-treaters, or I can hang it inside as a Halloween decoration. I hope you had a great time joining me today. My name is Lisa, happy Halloween, and I'll see you next time.
Want to continue the fun? Well, there's always more cool activities to check out on our website. Just visit www.activitytv.tv.
Made for on demand.
Halloween activity is intermediate level. Get ready to create your very own Day of the Dead banner. Hi, I'm Lisa Blair, and today I'm going to show you how to make a traditional Mexican papel picado. Sometimes we use materials that require supervision, like scissors, so have fun creating this project with an adult helper. Here are the supplies you'll need to get started. To print out a list of supplies or step-by-step instructions for this Halloween craft, please visit www.activitytv.tv. Papel picado means punched paper in Spanish. It's a traditional folk art used in Mexico to create colorful decorations for parties and celebrations. During the Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead holiday, papel picado banners feature skeletons in a variety of poses. Now let's get started. I'm going to take my construction paper and fold it in half. I'm going to draw my pattern right on the paper so I know where to cut. We're going to cut it out just like you would a normal snowflake. So we want to make this look really festive, so I'm going to make the edges look kind of scalloped like this. This is just going to give it a decorative edge. Just like that. Now because it's folded in half, when we unfold it, our picture is going to be in full. So when it's folded over, we want to only draw half of the picture. For this cutout, I'm going to make a skeleton head with 2 flowers next to it. So right on that folded edge, I'm going to create half of the skeleton's face. I'm going to make this line just like this, and then I'm actually going to just double back and trace it again because I need to cut out a slit. We're going to make this part be the skeleton's face, and we're going to cut out this part. So you can actually just put these lines where you're going to cut out. Now I'm going to make the bottom half of the jaw. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to make a similar curved shape. Make sure you don't go all the way through. You want your piece of paper to stay together in the end, so you need to make sure that this large section is connected to the rest of the paper. I'm also going to have my skeleton be a happy skeleton, so I'm going to make a little grin here. And then I'm also going to make eyes right up here. But remember, this is only half the skeleton's face, so I only need to actually draw one eye. Over here is where our flower is going to be. So I'm going to make one flower right here. I'm going to make the center, and then a petal here, here, there, and then maybe a couple more, just like this. Now that I have my pattern drawn, it's time to start cutting. I'm going to begin by cutting the scalloped edge out. Day of the Dead for Latin America is similar to Halloween for the United States, except our holiday focuses a lot on candy and costumes, and their holiday celebrates more of an afterlife. They really put the focus on celebrating and recognizing those that have passed. Okay, now that our edge is all cut out, we're going to go right into the skeleton's face. Remember, you're only cutting out the pieces that you marked off. Leave the blank spots intact. Now I'm going to do the bottom jaw. And I'm going to cut out his grin. Just like that. Now for the eyeball, the eye is not on the edge of any of the paper, so I'm actually going to fold this right in half like this. That's going to give me a folded edge to cut into with my scissors. So I'm just going to cut with my scissors this half circle right on the fold. There we go. So for the flower, I'm going to use the same technique that I used for the eye. We need to get into these little areas. So for each of these little areas, I'm going to make a fold. I'm going to fold it in half first. I'm going to cut all these little petals out. I'm going to unfold this, and now I'm going to fold it this way to get into these petals right here. Now that the flower's done, we're just going to cut out one little nose. We want to be able to smell our wonderful flowers for our Day of the Dead banner. And here we go. This is the reveal, the best part. Ta-da! A happy Mexican skeleton. Now for the rest of my banner, I'm going to cut out a few more skeletons, and I'm also going to cut out a few flower patterns. So we're going to set this aside. I'm going to grab a green piece of paper, and I'm going to fold it over again, just like I did for the skeleton. We're going to again draw our pattern right on the piece of paper. I'm going to create the same scalloped edge so that all the banner pieces match. Now for this, I'm just going to draw a big center in the middle, and then a petal on this side, a petal on this side. Remember, we're folding this in half, and then we're going to unfold it in the end. So again, we only need half of the picture. I'm going to put one more petal here, one petal there, and another petal there. Okay, it's time to cut. I'm going to start with my outside edge. All right, my edge is done, and now I'm going to go into the center of the flower. And just like for the skeleton, I'm actually going to fold this over again so I can get to these interior petals. And then I'm actually just going to fold this in half one more time, and that should take care of both sets of those other two petals. All right, let's give it a look-see. Yep, that looks pretty good. Definitely looks like a flower. So I'm going to take these two banner pieces that I just made, and then I'm going to combine them with a few other cutouts that I made ahead of time. So I have these all laid out, and actually the ones that have the marker, make sure you turn them over so that's the back of your banner. All right, I have this really cool festive red string that I'm just going to lie across the top of all of these. Just like that. I have some tape, and I'm going to tape the string to all of these pieces. Looks pretty good, pretty festive. I'm Lisa Blaird. I hope you had a great time joining me today. Have a happy Halloween, and I'll see you next time.
Want to continue the fun? Well, there's always more cool activities to check out on our website. Just visit www.activitytv.tv.
Made for on demand.